Hey guys, welcome to this evening's flight. Garden data, good evening my friend. Right, just get a couple of things set up and let's hop into the cockpit, shall we? Ooh, that's dark. Can we have some ground power please? There we go. And we'll have a look. Captain ACQ, good evening. Good to see you. I can never remember what the button is to get the torch on this. It's very dark. Ben, hello from France. Good evening. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Okay, right. So VATSIM ATC is online, which is good. So we can get hold of them in a minute and see what's happening. Just go through the flow so we can try and get out of here as quick as possible. So that's the APU started. We'll turn on the passenger signs as well whilst we're down here. Oh, where's the checklist gone? Make sure we've got everything. So engine masters, engine mode, weather, wipers, battery, external power, APU, set those in a minute, cockpit lights, and then we're on the recall. Will, good evening. Good to see you. Gabriel, good evening, my friend. I've got the recall going. Flaps, check the position, speed brake, parking brake. Okay, we're all good for everything that we need to do in the sim at least. Let's get the ideas aligned, although that actually is happening instantly at the moment because that's how it's set. So Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 has actually just had a small update this evening. How it will affect us, I'm not sure yet. They've done something with the rudder from what I read. Hopefully that won't affect us too much. I think that's actually meant to be something to do with the old wing wobble. You know, we normally we turn off Sec 1, don't we? That normally it's normally what we do there, so maybe that's fixed. I don't know. Well, guess we'll find out. Just going to grab the ATIS as well before we go any further. Get the ATIS from our departure airport. Why is that not in there? That should be in there automatically. I'll pop that in instead. So Lima India Romeo Fox. Lima India Romeo Fox. And we'll just send a message for that. We'll get that in a moment. Because as I said, VATSIM is online this evening. Whilst I'm doing that, we can tune to the ground here, which is 121.9. 121. Spin, 1.9. Okay, so we're tuned to the ground. Good. Ria, good evening to you. Captain ACQ, does the disable version autopilot work well, or is it only the developer version? I believe it is the developer version only that is working at the moment. So grab the development version. Will, have you ever felt like dropping a nonce? It depends what they've done. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly scribble a few things down and we'll get our clearance from ground. So where are we off to? We're off to Malpensa. And have we got the ATIS? Messages received. There's the ATIS. Here we go. This is the ATIS information. In fact, you can all read that yourselves. There we go. So ILS approach 16 left, 16 right. Departure runway 25. Oh well, our flight plan's already wrong then. Departure runway 25. Transition level 750. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Scatter 5,000. Temperature QNH 1005. Initial contact, you have information Alpha. So we've got Alpha this evening. So yes, we're taking off departure runway 25. As I say, we'd actually planned in the route for 16 right. but that's wrong. If any of you guys want to see the route, there it is. So there's a link to our flight plan. So let's just go ahead, contact them, and see what they've got for us this evening. Just double check the frequency: 121.9, 121.9. Okay, so ground easy 34 Alpha Mike. Here's a type A320 Neo requesting IFR clearance as planned to Malpensa, and we have information Alpha.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Fiume ground, good evening. You are clear to Malpensa via SOSIV 5 Alpha departure, Sovan 7 Alpha transition, runway 25, initial altitude 4,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Cleared departure, runway 25 and Soviet 5 Alpha and Sovan 7 transition. Initial climb 4,000 feet, squawk 1,000. Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
34 Alpha Mike, read back is correct, call for push and start.
We'll report when ready, thanks 34 Alpha Mike. Okay, so we need to do a little bit of reprogramming in the flight plan. But first of all, let's start getting some passengers on board as well, shall we? I don't even think we're connected to the terminal yet. Well, sorry mate, I got to deal with the kids. I made sure the kids were in bed before I started. Ground services. Oh, I don't want that. Let's turn off that, shall we? Ground jetway connection. It's very dark out there, isn't it? Very good, jetway is going to be connected. And with that, we can start getting some people on board. So, tell the flight attendant.
Cabin crew, yeah, we've completed the checks, so now you can open the doors and start getting the passengers on board.
Andy, good evening. Okay, so what are we doing? We are flight number EZY34 Alpha Mike, and pop that in as the flight number. There we are. Our alternate today is EDDF. That's a long way away. EDDF. Now the weather, last I checked in Malpensa, is not that good. Not in the database. I think you lie. Sometimes get that. I've noticed. Try it the first time, doesn't work. Try it the second time. There we go. Cost index of 8, and the cruise flight level is 300. Minus 48 degrees. Okay. Alright, let's get this flight plan sorted. So we're departing now from runway 25. And Soviet 5 Alpha, which I believe I've just gone past. There it is. And transition is Sovan 7. Okay, so that's pop that all on there for us. Laurinho, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm just going to check all that looks accurate in the flight plan. Runway 25, and yeah, there we go. That looks good. We'll actually start doing the departure check, the arrival checks as well. Not long after departure, just because it's only a short flight this evening. But all that looks good, and it lines up with the charts that we've got as well. So with that in mind, let's just bring some details up for you to see them in the stream as well. So there's the details of the flight. There's the operational flight plan. Okay, so passengers are boarding. And I want the Init B page now. Init B, let's check out our weights for this evening. So we have got a payload tonight of 17.2. We're just going to have to reload this because, as you can see, the center of gravity is out. So we'll just add a couple of thousand kilograms to the back and take a couple of thousand kilograms off. So that gives us our zero fuel weight center of gravity, which in the top right is 28.4. 28.4 for the zero fuel weight, and we get the fuel loaded now. Francesco, good evening. Our planned block fuel is 6 tons. Make it easy. Not that much. What, 28%? There we go. That's good. And our final centre of gravity weight is 28.3, which gives us a trim setting for takeoff of, wait for it, 28.3. Oh, perfect. So the trimmable horizontal stabilizer setting for this flight is 0. That is beautiful. If anyone wants to know how I've worked that out, by the way, check out the advanced McDo planning on the channel, and it'll go through all that for you. Okay, so now I've got all those. Oh, is it your birthday, Francisco? Happy birthday! Clearly not doing anything special if you're with us. Right, what's the zero fuel weight? Zero fuel weight is 58.2, go up 58.3, 58.3. Zero fuel weight center of gravity is 28.4. We just worked that out a moment ago. Pop that in there and check the fuel planning. Should be 5.4. And what did I say we'd loaded? We'd loaded 6, hadn't we? Double check that. So that looking good. Excellent. 6.0. Pop that in there, and that gives us, and we've got a trip wind today of headwind of 19. Pop that in there as well, and then we've got all our final fuel figures for that, which looks good. Okay, we're over to the performance page. Flaps 1 takeoff. Stabilizer setting is 0.0. We've got a flex temp of, I worked this out just before we started. Where's it gone? I think it's 67. Don't know how well that's actually simulated yet in the sim, but there we go. And we'll get our V speeds from that now. I really need to go in as well and set the thrust reduction altitude to 1,000 feet above ground level, because I believe that is what Easyjet uses. Flight Sim Race Sim 88 on Twitch. How's the A320 Neo now? It's great as long as you've got the developer version. Don't use the stable version, you need the latest developer version for that. Wooden, good evening. Woodson, sorry, my apologies. Misread that. Okay, so everything looks like it's set nicely there. Turn the flight directors on, turn the constraints on, and our initial climb out was to 4,000 feet. So set that as well. Do you know what? I can't remember what the QNH was from the 80s. Let me double check that. While I'm here, I'm also going to get the weather for our arrival, which I don't believe is good. I really don't think it's good. We're maybe doing a Cat 3 arrival, or at least Cat 2. AP swaying is still there in the A320. Have you got the latest update that was applied today from Microsoft? They've just given a new one out a few hours ago. Once again, they say they've addressed it. We shall wait and see. Michael, I like this. Wait till we get in the air. So let me just check the received messages, and 1005, we'll just set that here. Set and cross-checked, 1005. And what have we got? Oh my word, look at that. Okay, so we've got fog, we've got 900 meter viewing, overcast 200 feet, temperature 1, dew point 1. So yeah, it is going to be a very, very misty arrival. That's going to be a late decision height, isn't it? Okay. Well, I could do with HD getting on the stream to be my right hand man again for that. Monk, seems like the autopilot bug is back with going in circles. Oh, God, I hope not. Otherwise, it's going to be a very short flight. Okay, let's get some bleed air going, and we'll get the engine started for our illegal pushback. I still haven't downloaded that mod yet. I will do, I promise. Let's get the passengers, they all boarded. Yeah, I think so. So with that, we can get the jetway done.
Hi, Captain. All passengers are on board.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That jetway looks pretty close, doesn't it? Never mind. Dan, how do you say L kilogram performance page of the flight simulator? I forgot what page it is, but it is in there. It's buried somewhere deep in the settings. I'll see if I can find it at the end of the stream. If you're still with me, Daniel, I'll have a look for that. AP, I did the RNAV runway 28 Marrakesh, and it started to circle to the right. Had to go manual. Yeah, RNAV is a little bit temperamental, but as long as you approach your final approach fix and then hit the approach button, you should be good. We did it earlier, actually, today, coming into Rome, and that worked all very nicely.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, good morning. This is your captain.
Good morning. Good evening.
You on board the aircraft. My name is Gavin, and we're not expecting any delays, so we should be arriving on time at our destination. The cabin crew are just tidying up the last few things on the aircraft and going over a couple of checks, and we should be getting out of here very shortly. If you would help the cabin crew by getting yourselves sat comfortably with seatbelts fastened, we should now be ready to depart in just a few minutes. For now, though, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with Easyjet today, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Okay, so we'll get the engine started, then we'll contact them for the push and start. Let's see what we got going. Gordon, I've done 5 circle around Dublin half an hour ago, plan of no clue where to go. No heading mode working. Oh no. Oh, this could be an interesting flight then, couldn't it? Amanka 88 agrees, heading doesn't work too. Peter, good evening. Woodson, loaded the OFP sample you uploaded, but wouldn't get trip win and some of the other information. Is there any relationship to the service? Your trip win, it depends on the layout of your operational flight plan. I'm using the Easyjet one for obvious reasons, so you get the trip wind from that, which is just here. There's your trip wind, heading 19. So I'm going to turn that off now, actually, get rid of that. Oh, Gordon, you're still using the default Neo. Oh, I wonder if that has anything to do with it then. Daniel, are there any tutorials? There's loads of tutorials. Check my channel. It depends what specific tutorial you are after.
Cabin crew, we're all ready to go, so please arm the doors and cross-check. Thank you.
Okay, so engine 1's firing up. With that, we'll get our taxi clearance, because so what we're doing, pushing back and using runway 25. So I'd imagine we're going to push back and we'll probably go down either Hotel or Bravo. Hold short at Bravo Alpha. Let's find out. Which radio are my comms selected to? Whoa! What was that? Anyone else see that aeroplane flying straight towards us? Oh! Oh, someone's jumped to the parking spot. Move, move, move! Otherwise I'm just going to drive straight through you. That's the problem with VATSIM. Did they not see us? How annoying. I'm going to look back now and there's going to be an aeroplane there. Yeah, there you go. Look, there's an aeroplane there. Disappear. We'll get engine 2 started as well. Alright, let's contact ground and get our taxi clearance. Ground, Easy 34 Alpha Mike is ready for push and start.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, push and start is approved, facing east.
Push and start approved, facing east, 34 Alpha Mike. Yeah, regarding the flex temp, it's not yet simulated. No, it's good habit to get into though, because it will come. You can obviously pop it all in. Does the autopilot work without the mod? I've no idea, I've always used the mod, so... Alright, here we go. Is that aircraft still there? Yeah. Has he not seen us? I'm sat right next to you. May have to switch to an external view just so I can see what's happening.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew, I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors as we
We can nosy on this other aircraft though, can't we?
There are 6 emergency exits on the aircraft. Take a minute to locate the one closest to you and know that it may be behind you. Count the number of rows to the exit. Should the cabin experience pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew.
Count the number of rows from the exit.
Will drop down from above your seat.
Oh, I'm going to have a quick look outside to see where we're going here. How very unrealistic. Then again, we are pushing back with auto thrust, so that's unrealistic. Very unrealistic.
Life rafts are located below your seats and emergency lighting in the floors will lead you to the closest exit.
Could do with some taxi lights.
Make sure that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety procedures on the card in the pocket in front of you. Thank you for your attention and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Okay, so we should be on taxiway Mike at the moment. Let's just clear this up. So set the parking brake while we do it. Mode selector to normal. Let's turn off the APU bleed. We don't need to pack one on for taxi. And I'm just going to give us a little bit. I'd normally just have taxi lights on, but with no taxi lights there. Just want to see a little bit of what we're doing. Easy 34 Alpha Mike is ready for taxi.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha via Mike, Tango and Bravo.
Holding point Bravo Alpha via Mike Tango Bravo, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. So we're taxiing via Mike, Tango and Bravo. Alright, so basically, if we've got this right, and we can see where we're going, we're just over to the left here. Is that a yellow taxi line? I think so. And then we take the first left, go straight across Hotel and turn right on Bravo. Seems straightforward enough. There's a big difference between Easyjet's operational flight plan and Lufthansa's. Yes, I hear. I imagine there would be. Can't say as I've ever seen a Lufthansa flight plan. The tower, I think, is also online as well for Milan. Not Milan, Rome, where we are, so we'll be able to contact them before takeoff. I don't think there's any area control on them before that. Right, so this is Tango that we're just turning on to here. And we've now got some taxi lights, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn that off to, there we go, pop that to as taxi setting, which is good. Daniel, does the TCAS system work with VATS? No, it doesn't. It only works with traffic, which is actually on the Microsoft Flight Simulator network. So either their AI traffic or their live traffic or multiplayer traffic, I believe, is also shown. They need to add FlexCalc in the sim toolkit. I just use a website that's readily available. I've linked to it in a couple of the videos. Rodney Watson, good evening. Thanks for joining, mate. Where do you get the takeoff weight values, Woodson? That is... well, the SimRe flight plan provides all the payload details and the flight plan, etc., etc. And then the actual weight of the aircraft and things like that. If you check out one of the tutorials I've got on here, which is for SimBrief flight plan planning and how that works, you can actually grab an A320 profile which matches up all the weights here in with the one in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so that works. Abdul, what's up? Hopefully us in a few moments. Okay, so we're going straight down Bravo just here. Peter, that's correct. You should only enter one or the other. So the decision altitude is if you're doing Cat 3 landings, auto lands, and minimum set altitude is what you'd normally use. We may be using decision altitude tonight, or DH, decision height tonight, because the weather's not looking good in Milan. We'll get a call in a minute telling us to contact the tower. William, good evening. It's alright, I'm just pulling up my my charts for this. So we're holding short of Bravo Alpha, which as we turn left in a minute, you'll see there's actually two holding points. Bravo, Bravo, Bravo Alpha. Bravo, Bravo is on the left, we want to take the one on the right.
34 Alpha Mike, contact tower on 118.7. Tower.
Tower on 118.7, easy 34 Alpha Mike, good night. Okay, so flaps 1, spoilers are armed. Ding the cabin. So there's the first holding point, which is Bravo Bravo. Then we want this second holding point, which is Bravo Alpha. Auto brake set, and once I get into the holding position, then we'll contact the tower for takeoff. That's holding point Bravo Alpha, so let's just configure a couple of things for the aircraft. 118.7 for the tower, and I'll catch up with you guys in the chat in just a moment while I get this once I get it in the air. Tower, good evening, easy 34 Alpha Mike, holding point Bravo Alpha for runway 25.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Fiumicino Tower, good evening, runway 25, clear for takeoff, wind 130 degrees 4 knots.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 25, easy 34 Alpha Mike.
And easy 34 Alpha Mike, when able, please squawk 5563.
5563 the squawk, easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Thanks.
Last minute change of squawk there, just squawk ident as well. Okay, so with that, let's get the lights on, takeoff lights, strobe lights, runway turn off lights, packs off for takeoff, and tell the cabin crew get themselves seated.
Cabin crew, if you could take your seats for takeoff, please.
So straight after departure, there's a gentle right turn, and then we're heading up north. Let's hope that this little fix hasn't altered anything. Don't fancy a hand flying. Incidentally, if anyone wants to do a full manual flight, go and check out the one that was done the other night. From Inverness to Newcastle, if I remember correctly. The autopilot wasn't working, so we had to hand fly it. Okay, start the clock. Off we go. Man flex, SRS and runway. A couple of flashing lights on the FMA there. 100 knots.
100 knots. Check.
V1 and rotate.
Positive rate climb. Gear up.
Positive rate, but I'm having some slight issues with the thrust lever there. That might be something new. Autopilot seems to be behaving itself.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, no further ATC available. Monitor Unicom 122.8. See ya.
122.8. Thanks for the service. Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Good night.
Good day.
And you can, I don't know if you can hear that, the thrust lever, so concentrating on that a little bit, making sure we're in the right detent for the rest of the flight. I'm just targeting the S speed now. If anyone wants to know what sort of mods I'm running on this, so like passenger sounds, etc., just go to the about page and it's got the specs of the system all on there. Flaps up. Ground spoiler retracted. I'm going to turn the packs back on, and with that I said no further ATC, so we're going to set our climb rate now to 3,000 feet. Not 3,000 feet, 30,000 feet. And the autopilot can now take over. Engage autopilot. And that seems to be working quite nicely. Climb rate 2,500 feet per minute. Just check this thrust lever down here. We're in the climb detent. We were just moving around a little bit, wasn't it? I can just hear the engine spooling up. What are we doing here? I just wanted to climb us at about 6,000 feet per minute if I let it. And we don't want it to do that. QNH to standard. Yeah, Jack, those thrust levers there. That's not the norm. Maybe I need to go in and check the settings again, as per usual after a little Microsoft update. But hey ho, we're good now. Alright, we'll turn the weather radar on. Should have done that before takeoff actually. Oh, there's a bit of red on there. Quickly, how do you learn that? You're so good. Experience and lots of practice. Right, now we're climbing quite happily. Let me just see if I can catch up with a little bit of the chat. Good stuff. Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, now's a good time to ask. We're going to get the arrival information punched in a moment because it's not the arrival's not that far away. So passenger sounds on the aircraft there from a little mod called self-loading cargo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Milan. The local time
Welcome to Milan. As you can hear, self-loading cargo is not perfect.
Very cold, 0 degrees Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit, so if you have a jacket or coat, you might want to put it
And we'll
on.
turn the dome lights down now, and we can have a good look around. There we are. So we're approaching 10,000 feet, at which point we put the airports on the display map.
Thank you for flying with Easyjet.
Once we get past 10,000 feet as well, we can pop the autopilot into managed mode, because it seems to work quite well after hitting the 10,000 feet mark. With that, we can also turn off the landing lights and the taxi lights, runway turn off lights. Hear the engines kicking in there as we pass 10,000 feet, and we'll enter managed mode as well. How did you change L and kilogram in the fuel menu? Yeah, I'm going to go over that at the end because I can't remember where the setting is, so stick with me once we land and remind me when we get there, and I'll quickly try and find that setting for you. Definitely need to go and look at the sensitivity settings of the thrust levers, because that was an unsteady takeoff, wasn't it? It kept losing power. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the route. So I don't think we've any ATC online at Milan, which is kind of good because is Roman Control online. Roman Control has just come online, so we're going to have to contact them in a moment. 124.2. I'm spinning that dial the wrong way, aren't I? It'll take me forever to get down there. 124.2. If I could speed up the sensitivity setting of this, that would be nice. There we go, I was waiting for the contact me. Rome Control, good evening, Easy 34 Alpha Mike, passing flight level 1504300.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Roma, buonasera, identified, continue climb flight level 300.
Cleared to continue climb flight level 300, Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Roma, buonasera, Mediterranea 057, favor with you.
Mediterranea 057 for Roma, buonasera, squawk 5501.
Oh, Shane, thanks mate, there you go.
5501 in the
Anyone that wants to know how to do that, Shane's just sorted that for us. Okay, so still don't think we've got any control at Milan. So what I am going to do is just check the winds there. I believe we're planned to land on runway 35 right, which is fine, which is good. And it's the Miba 2 Echo arrival. So I'm going to just pop this information in now because it's not far away. ILS, we definitely need an ILS landing tonight, the weather there's rubbish. 35 right, also 35 right Zulu. And it is the Miba 2 Echo arrival. I'll just double check that. Miba 2 Echo, pop that in there. Insert.
Lufthansa 305 Roma, buonasera. You are cleared to
And we'll turn the seatbelt signs off. Let them stretch the legs a little bit.
Departure, runway 31. Climb 6,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are free to move about the cabin. However, please note that we do recommend you fasten your seatbelts at all times.
Control, good evening, Eurotrans 792.
Where are we going? Autopilot's having a moment, isn't it? Let's get us back on track, shall we? Always need to be aware of that. So we need to go direct Southern.
Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items.
How interesting.
Thank you.
Direct Southern. There we go. Pop that in there. That should work. There we go. And we can go back into managed mode.
Thank you.
So I don't know if that was just because we got the star in there. It shouldn't have been, but that's interesting. We just need to check now that once we get to Southern, once we get to Southern, we should next then be... Oh, look at that. If you had to look at the flight plan, we've got Southern, Sisiv, Adupa, and then we're back to Southern again. So, can we go to the second Sovereign and see if that works. Nope, that's strange. Right, I'll tell you what, we're going to go direct to Amtel, because there doesn't seem to be a problem after that.
Control, Eurotrans 790.
There we go, try that.
Correction, Eurotrans 790.
There we go, that's tidied that up.
5x5.
Well, little issue there, but we got around it. Peter James on vaccine, can you have any call sign? Do you have to stick to one? No, mate, you can have absolutely any call sign you want. I just use 34 Alpha Mike because for some reason I can remember it. And it's because this isn't a real flight. Normally, I'll nip onto flight radar 24, have a look which Easyjet flights are flying, pick one, do that, and then I use the real world call sign, but this isn't a real flight, so I just go with the one I know and can remember.
Volume is a bit low.
LBS 513 is proceeding to land on Lima Mike Lima.
Gordon, yours did the same, did it? Direct, oh, yeah, just pick another waypoint, go direct, you'll be fine. Enter heading mode, of course, if there is a problem, just till you've got it sorted. That's all we did just there.
LBS 513 is
Right,
proceeding
so
to land to Lima
I would like
Mike
to double
Lima
check
Malta.
the weather that we've got waiting for us in Milan.
Turn left heading,
So,
right heading 260 degrees for your base.
260
let's
degrees
have a look.
right,
We
LBS
have
513
got
descending.
090 at 4 knots.
Radar Lufthansa 305, ready for takeoff. That's 305, the taxi holding point at Charlie,
Temperature
runway 31
1,
via uniform.
2.1, QNH 1005,
Reaching for backtrack.
which is the same as it was in where we just departed from.
Taxi to holding point.
Heading's not working
Charlie
even in the
via
default.
uniform, and
Oh
we will
dear.
report when a default backtrack. Lufthansa 305.
Let it circle and see where it ends up. Wonderful.
Hargis 513, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1008.
Okay, so I just need to pull up some charts for Milan. What's the star we're using? Can't remember.
34 Alpha Mike, proceed direct to Berok.
Direct Berok, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Oh god, that's a problem when they ask us to do stuff like that.
Mediterranean 0574, identified, passing 29R5, continue climb flight at level 340.
Direct Berok, here we go. Please behave.
Mediterranean 0574.
Direct Berok, oh look at that, that's going to cut some time off the flight as well, so we really need to crack on sorting this arrival out.
Roman Centre, Eurotrans 790.
Direct Berok, just wait for the navigation display to update. There we go.
Eurotrans 7923, reach you 5x5.
Reach 5 also, Eurotrans 790.
That's good. So, let me grab the chart for the star, which is Mebu 2 Echo. Where are you?
5502,
If you're wondering where I'm looking for that, I'm actually on a different computer. Where have you gone? Mebu 2 Echo arrival. God, they've got so many.
Radar Lufthansa 305, ready for backtrack. That's a 305, backtrack approved, report ready for departure. Backtrack approach, we'll report on ready for departure.
Still looking for that, still can't find it. I'll tell you why I can't find it. I'll tell you exactly why I can't find it. It's because I'm looking at the Rome charts. Oh, we need Milan. Mebu 2 Echo. Where are you? Oh, Mebu 1 Kilo. Mebu 1 X-ray. Come on, where's 2 Echo? Mebu 2 Echo, there we are, thank you very much. So there's the Arnav arrival, which is insanely long. So I really need to be aiming for about 5,000 feet. By a waypoint called MC435. There's no ATC online up there, so they're not going to tell us to fly the full star. We can vector ourselves in for that. The approach will be 3 5 right, potentially a Cat 3 because the weather's not looking good. Peter James, can I do a tutorial on how to set up a holding pattern? The holding pattern of the A320 isn't functional yet, so you have to do it sort of by hand at the moment. God, it's still climbing but not in the right direction. Oh dear. Okay, so how do you do that with ATC? This is the VATSIM ATC, so it's nothing to do with the simulator. It's VATSIM ATC. Going on my way to Croatia, you hope. Right, I just need to do a quick top of descent calculator. So we're at 30,000 feet. And I want to be at 4,000, no I don't want to be at 5,000 feet by MC435, that particular waypoint, which means I need to lose 25,000 feet. So if you do 25,000 divided by 1,000 times by 3, add 10, 85 miles. So start descent
Left ordinary direction.
at 85 miles
Chicago 121,
from that waypoint.
Roma, buonasera, identified. Proceed direct Giano.
And I'm just going to check the RadNav page as well, because we need to make sure that we've got our ILS frequency punched in just there. So, where are we? So the ILS frequency is 109.9. If we go down to the RadNav page just here, we can double check that that's all waiting for us. 109.9. Lovely. For some reason, the actual runway identifier isn't in there. That's strange. Never mind, that doesn't matter. Okay, let's just get some of the performance data in. So we need to pop the weather in. So QNH at Milan is 1005. Temperature is 1. Ooh, it's cold.
135.
Wind 0904.
90.
And the transition altitude is 6,000 feet.
Air Greece 513 to adjust the turn left heading
And
240
we're going to pop a decision out in here for a Cat 2.
240 degrees, Air Greece 513.
Which is 100 feet.
Alright, I'll look at the 5 ready for takeoff.
Lufthansa 305, runway 31, clear for takeoff, wind 300 degrees, 16 knots, gusting.
Oh look, we've got some rocking from side to side, so Microsoft didn't fix that then.
31, Lufthansa 305.
Guiding your circle getting bigger and bigger. At least altitude works. Fair enough. I've got some slight rocking from side to side, so we're just going to quickly turn off the sec one. Oh, I was really hoping that had got fixed with this update. I actually said in the update, it said that they'd adjusted some of the rudder sensitivity or something like that, which should have prevented it from doing its little wing rocking, but never mind. That flight sim do, don't worry mate, that's already been done. In fact, I did a quick video on that yesterday, day before, something like that. Okay, so if we have a look down here at the navigation display, can you see all these green squiggles here? Believe it or not, that's the star. We're not going to fly all of it. I can show you in a bit more detail if we do this. Have a look at this. So, just zipping through. There we go. That's the actual route it wants us to fly. What we're going to do is we're actually going to come in at this waypoint just here. Let me find it. Where have you gone? Okay, so we're actually going to come in at Mike Charlie 435, which is this one just here. You can see the bottom right hand corner. So if we hit Mike Charlie 435, we want to be at about, well, below 5,000 feet. If we put the constraints on there, what's he got on there for us? Well, it actually says there just below 5,000 feet. We also want to be doing 210 knots as well. That's the maximum speed as well, by the way. So that's where I'm heading for. What I should be able to do is zip down here, find the last waypoint that I want to pass before heading to that MC435, which is Meba, and then pop it in there, and it would clear out all the other waypoints in there. That doesn't work though, so we're just going to have to go direct after Meba.
That's a 305 identified. Continue.
Just needs a little bit more planning on my part.
400.
So how many miles away from Meba at the moment? Just going to turn that down. Oh, there's some. You can see some magenta on the navigation display. That is turbulence. Looks like we're flying straight through that. David has problems with the installation in the Microsoft Store. I'm afraid I can't help because I didn't have any problems. I did get it through Microsoft Store as well, not through Steam, so no. All I would say is make sure any antivirus things you've got going on are disabled. You don't want any of those.
10 miles from touchdown, runway 31 cleared to land, wind 300 degrees, 16 knots, gusting.
Alright, so if you remember I said I wanted our top of descent start 85 miles away from that point, MC435, and just turn the constraints off. So basically what we're looking for is you can just see actually MC435 coming into view on the navigation display there. It's the bottommost waypoint after Meba. When we get to, when that's at about the 85 mark, then we'll start the descent.
Good evening, Romar 08 Tango Tango is you, flight level left 3.
If anyone's got any questions, general questions about the A320, now is a good time to ask. We've got about 10-15 minutes before we need to do anything.
Squawk 5505.
Squawking 5505, Romar 08 Tango Tango.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, contact your control west 135.55.
135.55, thanks for your help, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. So Eurocontrol West is online, did it say? 13555, let's check in with them.
Romero Airways 06 Tango Sierra identified, flight level 330.
Oh, it takes forever to scroll through this.
Kappa 3 Alpha arrival, expect ILS approach runway 16 left.
Roger, clear to
oh no!
arrival for ILS we see 16 left.
13555. Good job not having to contact anybody in an emergency.
Tango identified, passing 340.
I'm getting repetitive strain injury in my little finger.
Alpha arrival, expect ILS approach runway 16 right.
55. There we go. Let's contact Eurocontrol. Eurocontrol Easy 34 Alpha Mike, flight level 300.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Eurocontrol, hello, and descend when you're ready, flight level 200.
We'll descend when ready, flight level 200, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Okay, so we're going to be a little bit off before we actually do that. How far are we away from that 80 mark? Yeah, we've got a little bit to go. What we will do, though, just out of courtesy, is we will let him know when we start our descent, just so he knows that we're going down there now.
Control of the building, Mediterranean 0574, ready to descend now.
0574, descend, flight level 200.
Roger, sir, leaving now, level 340 down, level 200 to 100, 574.
Oh, my Navigraph wants to suddenly do a quick update. That's dangerous, isn't it? It better be quick. God, are you actually still in the air? I've got to admit, that's got to be quite impressive that you are actually in the air still at this point. Okay, so let's just go through a bit of an approach briefing. So the minimums are set at 100 as we're going to be doing an ILS Cat 2 approach. Let's just double check nothing's changed with the weather before we start the descent. I don't think it will have. Messages received. Weather request. Let's just get that meta. Just a piece of useless information. If the temperature is the same as the dew point or very close, that's usually when you get lots of fog and mist. So I'm just waiting for that to come through, and we're going to start our descent now as well. So we'll just let them know. Easy 34 Alpha Mike, starting our descent now to flight level 200.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, second.
Just confirming we're starting our descent now to flight level 200.
Roger.
That looks a bit wobbly. We may have to warn them, there could be bad weather ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelts as soon as possible. Thank you.
We appear to have got the weather, so let's just have a look at this, make sure, see if anything's changed. Overcast still at 200. Okay. Fog 200.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking once again, and just to let you know that we do have some rough weather ahead, so the seatbelt sign is going on. We'll do our best to limit your services to a minimum for the feel of safety in the next few minutes. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we have passed through this bad weather. Thank you for your cooperation.
I think when we've passed through the bad weather, however, we'll be on the ground. Right, so we've got visual range, according to the METAR, for 35 right. We've got a visual range of about 1,500 metres. Overcast clouds at 200, we've got fog as well. Oh, this could be fun. Fun, fun, fun. So what we are going to see now is we will see a Cat 2 approach in Flight Sim. Do I use Pilot to ATC? I used to with FSX. Obviously don't use it with this, I'm just on VATSIM now. Crystal, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Box receive, second leg, second one of the day, yeah. Well, I had a spare couple of hours this evening. We'll squeeze another one in. Persuaded your dad to forget the PS5, get Flight Sim 2020, of course. Alright, what we're going to do before sighting these clouds, we're going to turn on the anti-ice. We don't want icing up. You don't want to flame out when coming down.
Mediterranean 0574, further descent with Unicorn 1228, goodbye.
Bigger J, good evening. Oh, thank you. Glad they've worked for you.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, further descent with Unicorn 1228, goodbye.
Over to Unicorn now, thanks for the service, Easy 34 Alpha Mike, good night. There is 80 in the McDo, yes there is.
FedEx 244, crossing 256, flight level.
I can show you how to get that once we're on the ground. I just need to
Alex 244,
watch
Euro
these,
Control, hello,
this
climb
descent.
level 330, and
Make sure the autopilot doesn't do anything crazy.
Oscar Golf.
Victor Oscar Golf and
over to you, Nicole.
330 flight level 244.
Okay, so what we're going to get tonight then, by the looks of the weather, is this is the closest we're going to get to a full automatic landing in Flight Sim 2020. It's meant to be overcast at 200 feet. In real life, the A320 can do the full auto land no problem. In Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, however, it can't. The aircraft doesn't flare itself, which means we've got to do that. So what you'll find is me knocking off the autopilot as soon as I get the runway in sight, which isn't going to be, according to the weather, give me that much time, and then we'll just have a gentle, hopefully gentle flare to touchdown. Peter, have you seen the ice build-up on the aircraft? It's not real. No, you're right, it's most definitely not real. How did you get the metal on the FMC? I will show you that as soon as we hit, as soon as we're at the terminal. As soon as we hit. That was a poor choice of words, wasn't it? Okay, so we can continue our descent now, and we're looking to be at 5,000 feet. Slow our speed down now as well to 250. May need some spoilers just to help us get down there. Is this using live weather and time, Steve? It is indeed. If you're going to fly on VATSIM, you have to use live weather and obviously the live time, otherwise you're seeing things completely different to the controller. User, since when is there in meta in the McDo? There has been meta for a few weeks now, thanks again to the wonderful fly-by-wire guys who are doing an astounding job. Just grabbing some charts, making sure they're all displaying correctly so I've got them to refer to. Alright, so we're about to enter a bank of cloud, and the next thing I expect to see, if that weather radar is correct, is the runway creeping out at us with a bit of mist. It could be turbulent. Steve, it says at the top 18,000 feet. Where are you looking, my friend? Ryanair, where are you descending to? We're coming into Milan, my friend, where there is pretty bad weather at the moment. Well, not bad weather, just bad visibility. So I've just pulled the spoilers out just to get us down there a little bit. Ah, right. Boxer, what you're looking at there, I've just realised where you said 18,000 feet. It's not, it's 1,800 feet. That's the vertical speed. So we're descending at a rate of 1,800 feet per minute. I think that's what you're referring to. I'm looking forward to this landing, but at the same time I'm apprehensive because I know auto land doesn't work in Microsoft Flight Simulator. What have we got calculated as our final approach speed? It's calculated 133, so that's nice and steady. On the fly-by-wire update, then however Christmas livery. I'd seen that actually, I'd just not downloaded it. Okay, so there's the last of the stars. We can just see those disappearing. PJ, I'm good, my friend. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, guys, please do hit the subscribe button. We normally have live streams throughout the day, and of course there's always tutorial videos and things like that, so don't want to miss those. tomorrow, of course, is Long Haul Friday, where we step out of the Easyjet cockpit, still into an A320 Neo, but we do a long haul flight which lasts a good, usually about 6 hours flight time. Where can I find the transition altitude? That's found on aircraft charts. So, as I mentioned, I've got a Navigraph subscription, so I'm using the aircraft charts. Skinny Whippy, the computer specs are on the About page, as are the mods that I'm using as well. There's only a couple of mods. Well, the fly-by-wire mod, obviously, and as well as the fly-by-wire mod, we've also got self-loading cargo for the passenger sounds. Steve, I hope over the 10-year span this game will have all hand model airports. The only problem with hand model airports is that oh god, this is bumpy. The only problem with hand models airports is that they're obviously very detailed, aren't they, which is great, but you then need the more powerful computers to run them. Don't know if you guys can see this on the stream, but this aircraft's bouncing around a lot as we're descending through this magenta. That magenta basically means turbulence. Don't think it was raining in Milan. 3 hours from Newcastle to Paris. That can't be right. 2 hours max, unless you're on a very long route. Okay, so we're going to slow the aircraft down. We want to be at 210 knots by that waypoint in the bottom right hand corner. Descent profile looks good. Where is Microsoft updating the Berlin airport? I've no idea. Although, isn't the new Berlin airport in there because it's just part of the other airport in Berlin? I'm not sure about that. We'd have to visit it and check. I just want the taxiways labelled correctly. Oh, Michael, you and me both. They seem to be the hand model ones, and it's sort of 50-50, isn't it, for the rest? Oh! There's some bumps in the road. How did I get the ETA from the McDo? If you're talking about the ETA that's at the top of the screen, that doesn't come from the McDo, that's an external piece of software. But you can get ETA on the McDo if you go to the flight plan page. It is right here at the bottom. UTC down at the bottom, it's saying 2200 hours, so 10 o'clock, half an hour. Although, it won't be half an hour because we're not going to do this full zigzaggy route. We're going to go direct to the final approach fix in a minute. So let's turn on the landing lights. You can start voting now. How do you all feel the aircraft is going to handle this Cat 2 arrival? CD Jones currently flying from Los Angeles to Honolulu, halfway there. That's a great flight. Oh, I'm glad the videos have helped, mate. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to key in direct that MC435, so I'm going to go direct MC435, so we'll just double check that. See that yellow line? That's now going to take us that fix. Pop that there. Hope that comes into play now. I can see the aircraft's turning. There we go. We want to be below 5,000 feet by that point. And we should be. Top of the descent calculation works, so that's good. Did I face any flotation issues on landing? I have done in the past, and it's really difficult to explain how it does it, why it does it, and it's just the transition to the flare mode. A lot of people have a tendency on the flare to pull the stick back, and you really don't need to. Keep an eye on your primary flight display, and you'll see that mostly when coming into landing, you're already at a 2-3 degree angle. So yeah, you don't need to worry too much about flaring, because if you pull back too far, then that's when you get that floating effect. Okay, so we'll level the aircraft off there, just because I know there's terrain below us. We don't want to crash into a mountain. Not the terrain on there. There we go. Yeah, so that's really why the starboard takes you on that big zigzaggy route, is because there are some hills just to the south of the field, so it takes you on a long descent path through them. So we're going direct, which is fine, but you need to be aware that there is a hillside. Hey Peter, what are the differences between IFR and VFR? VFR is literally use your eyes. You're doing everything visually. IFR, as you can see right now, I'm not no point looking out the window, can't see anything. Just watching the instruments. Self-loading cargo is more dramatic than packed air. Yeah. Could you hear them all screaming? Hi Ben, good to see you. Very nice to have a first officer on board. Because we're doing a Cat 2 arrival, the weather's not good, and Flight Sim 2020 doesn't like it. So, you can just keep an eye on things for me. HD, the usual first officer, must be busy. He's not with us. He's also an Easyjet captain that joins us from time to time. And Ben, I'm sure you can confirm for me that you don't actually want to pitch up that too much in the flare. Maybe an extra 3 or 4 degrees, something like that. Maximum. Might even be less than that in Flight Sim 2020, just because of the flight dynamics, where it just floats you off down the runway. Alright, so once we hit MC435, we're what, 5, 10, 15, we're 20 miles from the airfield. So what we can do now is we can hit the approach phase. Go into manage speed. And we're going to do flaps 1. Yeah, Ben, so that sounds about right. 2-3 degrees. Certainly no more on this. I've not got Discord, mate, I'm afraid. Otherwise, that would have been pretty good. As you can see, and as I'm sure you've experienced, the workload for a single pilot is going to be quite heavy in a few moments' time. Alright, so I'm going to descend now to 4,000 feet. Only a steady descent rate. Bigger, can we get an outside view real quick? What are you expecting to see? There won't be very much. $6,000 feet? No, we're not on final, not yet. We shouldn't be far away. Turn on the landing system and set current QNH. Daniel, how was the flight? Oh, you've come back for the most important bit. Okay, so for those of you that are just joining, we're coming into Milan. The weather's rubbish. We've got runway visibility is about 1,500 feet according to the METAR, and it's overcast to 200 feet. Ben, I will certainly look into that for you. It would be great. Steve, am I a real pilot? No, sadly not. I failed my Class 1 medical here in the UK several years ago. But once you've got the bug, it doesn't leave you, does it? And thankfully I've got some very good friends that are A320 pilots who have trained me up. However, that training is completely different when you throw Microsoft Flight Simulator into the mix. Oh, I can see some light. Hello. That's nice. Well, we're still going to leave a decision height of 100 feet. I'm still waiting actually for the ILS system to come in. Having said that, we're about 35 miles away, so it's not kicked in just yet. Oh, Daniel, yeah, I know it's crazy, isn't it? But appreciate each and every subscriber that comes our way. It really is fantastic. Camila, yep, this is the latest update from a couple of days ago, which means the autopilot now works. It does work, but occasionally it just has a tendency to drift off to a stray waypoint, so you have to be on top of it. There's also a slight crosswind at landing. I think where the wind is 090, if memory serves me right. So as you can see, we're actually slightly crabbing down that final approach path. Yeah, Richard, there was one for me as well. It said it fixed the wing wobble, and it didn't. Actually, that's a good point. That's just reminded me I need to turn that back on. Ben, if you're watching and wondering why on earth I've turned off the spoiler and elevator computer, it's because it's the only way to fix a phantom wing wobble that we get here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Popped it back on though now, so we've got a bit more rudder control. Auto trim on landing. Come on, ILS. Please come in. 30 miles away. Just out of interest. Just having a look where the glide path angle starts. So doing the Cat 1 approach, sorry, Cat 2 approach. We want to hit 3,000 feet by Todku, which is a few minutes away. I always get nervous the landing system's not going to populate and filter in. I've never had it happen, but I keep hearing reports from people that have. And when visibility is like this, I really don't want it to happen to me.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Oh, there it is. And the localizer's already in. So that's awesome. Alright, we're going to start descent down to 3,000. And we're now captured the localizer. "24 miles away. Good shout, Ben. Yeah, I turned the constraint on a bit earlier because I'm sure you'll know if you landed in Milan, you can't see anything but the constraints on the star coming into it. A big zigzag, which we got rid of because there's no ATC online, so we took a bit of a shortcut. Delta's in pilot, hello again, how are you?
Ladies and gentlemen,
How's it going? Can I answer that in about 22 miles time?
you are seated with your belts fastened and your trays in the upright position. Any items should be safely stored, and remember to turn off all electronic devices until after landing.
Alright, so we should intercept the glide slope at about 7 miles, 7.2 miles from touchdown. At the moment we're 20 miles, so we're okay. We're good. We've also got a couple of speed restrictions as well, which the aircraft is actually holding quite nicely, which is nice. Where should I fly from? Birmingham and expect? You see, the only way you can answer that, Daniel, is how long have you got? And if you've got a long time, do you want to do one long flight? Do you want to do 2 short flights? Headed to Los Angeles. Excellent. That's it, Ben. You once you've cut the thrust by 30, you just want to hold that attitude. Don't be tempted to pull back any further. We've all done it. Alright, so this is looking quite nice now. Localizer's captured. Turn off the terrain. Localizer's captured. I think we've just got a bit of movement on the glide slope. I wouldn't have thought I would have been coming in just yet at 16 miles away. That said, we're not going very fast, so that could be right. Your fake Jet 2 base. Oh, I'm sure there was talk at one point about Jet 2 actually doing transatlantic flights. The newer jets, of course, the newer aircraft, they can do it, can't they? Small ones. A320 Neo can make it. A321 Neo can make it. Yeah, Ben, I think that may be the problem. We've got visual of about 1,500 metres. And the runway we're landing on is quite a long one anyway. It's 4,000 metres. We might not see the end of the runway till we're halfway down it. Never mind. 13 miles out. We'll start dropping the flaps as well in a little bit. We're still flaps 1. When you put flaps 2 out, that's when we start to really add a bit of drag to the aircraft and lose some speed. Newcastle to Dubai, would that take 2 hops? Not in Microsoft Flight Sim's A320 Neo. No, I think it'd do that quite nicely. Have we got some rain on the windscreen as well? Oh yeah, I can see that. How nice. We're already lined up, Steve. We're on the ILS. We're just gonna hope the plane now behaves. I'm expecting the runway to come into view at about 200 feet. Bigger, the approach is not off, my friend. Localizer is on. I've just not armed the approach yet. Oh yeah, it's completely IFR this flight. Delta Sim pilot, yes I did, only a small one. So there we go, glide slope's now active, can see that coming in. Now we'll hop the approach on and wait till that's a notch above the diamonds, there it is, and we'll go flaps 2. We'll start to drop our speed now, which is good. Ben back in 5. Oh, Ben, it could have all gone wrong by then. Daniel, too low for me. No. Platform altitude's 3,000 feet. Intercepted at 7.2 miles, which is exactly right. So we're now on the glide slope, and there we're starting our descent. Gear down. Flaps 3. And flaps full. Spoilers armed. Let's hope we have a semi-decent landing. We all know that auto land does not work in Flight Sim 2020. Okay, so we're looking for about 200 feet. Use the radio altimeter at the bottom of the primary flight display. So those numbers in green for anyone wondering, which is about 1100 now. At about 200 we should hopefully start to see some runway lights. Hey Patriot, how can you land without seeing where the runway is? Relying completely on the instruments, my friend. I'm going to pop auto brakes on as well. I can see some lights, which is nice. They're not runway lights though. Oh, it's a great feeling, isn't it? You know, it's. I know some of the actual aircraft behaviour and characteristics aren't correct, but my word, it looks good. I think we can see some lights, boys and girls. There's the runway lights. Beautiful. Okay, so decision height is 100. I'm happy to continue. Ben, I'm sure you'll agree. Autopilot off.
Minimum.
There's our minimums.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
And we're down. And we've got rain as well flapping up the windscreen. Alright guys, be honest, how many of you were waiting for that to go very wrong? I love the windscreen effects. Say what you want about all the flight sims and how there are things which obviously aren't correct, but it's absolutely beautiful in terms of scenery and how they've done it.
32 Fahrenheit, so if you have a jacket or coat, you might want to put it on before exiting the aircraft.
Alright, the only thing now that doesn't work is not all the taxi signs are correct.
You are reminded to keep all electronic devices switched off until you have entered the airport terminal. Thank you for flying with Easyjet.
If anyone is wondering, in all seriousness, how I managed to do that, and want to learn to do something similar, there is an ILS tutorial on the channel. Go check that out. Practice that a few times, and then set the weather to something similar to as it is now. The main thing to note is that the real A320 can do a full auto land. However, it can't in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. I can't see that taxiway sign. So what you do have to do is at the very last minute, you've got to take the autopilot off and bring it in yourself, basically just as we did then. So this is either going to be Delta or Echo. I don't think it's Charlie Bravo. I'm just looking at my ground charts here. So we'll just clear the runway. There's the stop bars. Where are we? We'll miss the taxiway sign. Wherever we are, we want to go right down there. So I'm just going to configure a few things here. Pop the parking brake on. So we want to turn the TCAS off. Don't want to fry them on the ground. Radar system is already off, and we can turn off the anti-ice. Don't need those anymore. Start the APU. Landing lights off. Strobe lights off. Having said that, in weather such as this, some airline procedures are to leave them on. Right, can we read any of these taxi signs? Nope. Wherever we're going, we want to go right because the terminal's down there. So let's get you there. The destination announcement comes from basically it's self-loading cargo, but it's using text-to-speak for the cabin announcements. So it just is basically Windows text-to-speak system that just reads out where you are. So that's good. All right, Ben. Have I missed anything on the cleanup there? Let me know. Strobes off regardless of weather. Fair enough. I think it's more an American thing, you know. I have seen that. But I always presumed strobes were off. Yes, it has been streamed to Twitch as well, although to be perfectly honest, some bumps in the taxiway. To be perfectly honest, it's the YouTube channel that's got the followers. I need a taxi sign. Oh, there's the terminal. That'll do. So this is taxiway Charlie, I'm guessing. There's the terminal ahead of us. We'll go right on here and we're parking at Terminal 2. We don't want to carry on to the cargo area. Okay, thanks for that, Ben. So we can turn the flight directors off. We're not following those anymore. Constraints off. VOR off. I don't think the VOR was on actually. Navigation display up to 40 range. Thank you. See, this is why you need a first officer. Must have a pilot monitoring. And then, one thing they haven't implemented yet is all the taxiway lines to the specific parking spots. Not in the hand-modelled airports, anyway. Daniel, we're in Milan. So if anyone wants to hop on to Flight Sim 2020, this is the current weather in Milan there. Change the arc to nav, thank you. And we'll turn the approach phase off as well. Okay, that will do for our parking. There's a baggage cart there, maybe we should head there. Alright, so parking brake on, and have we got external power? Why is it telling me the external power is on? It shouldn't be. But the APU is on, so with that we can cut the engines. Turn the beacon lights off when we get to 10% N1. No, Ben, there's no brake fan. Not yet. Obviously it should be above the anti-skid, but it's not. And let's contact ground services, see if we can get some service going. We would like a power supply, please, even though it tells us we're already there. No ground power unit is available. I really hope you didn't mean specs. I can't do anything else you're after. It's far too late for that. We want the ramp connection as well, please. Specs are on the about page. So once we've got this sorted, we'll just go through our parking checklist. Have we got that power supply? Is it 20%, Ben? My apologies. I'm playing it safe. Don't want the ground crew getting sucked in or injured. That's paperwork, and you don't like paperwork. Okay, so ground power is on, which is nice. Get that ramp over there. Alright. Let the passengers out the seats, because let's face it, they're already out the seats and grabbing their bags from the overhead compartment, which they will have to pay for in February. Okay, so let me just go through the checklist. So APU bleed as required. We can leave that now, we're going to be parking for silent anyway. Yellow electric pump is off. As it should be. That's because that's for doing a single engine taxi. We didn't do a single engine taxi, so that's fine. Engines are off, seatbelts are off, external lights as required, so we can turn those off there. External lights, blah blah blah. Parking brake and charts done. Mobile phone on. Transponder needs to stand by 2000. There we go. And and radar PWS is off. Consider heavy rain. It is heavy raining actually. Electronic flight bag off. That's not yet there. We can turn the fuel pumps off as well. So there's the fuel pumps. We can now also turn the ADIRs off as we're done with the aircraft for the evening. Oxygen can go off as well. APU bleed wasn't on actually. So APU bleed. Emergency exit lights are off. The parking brake is on. No smoking light is also now off. Seatbelt signs are already off. APU and battery off. Okay, and the moment we do that is when we get a nice cold cold cockpit. Oh Ben, you're working tomorrow. That is good news. That really is good news. Too many Easyjet pilots, including so many of my friends, aren't flying at the minute, so that's great for you. Zan, what do I mean they're paying for them in February? Easyjet are bringing in charging for using the overhead bags. You can still take a carry-on piece of luggage as long as it fits underneath your seat in front of you, or behind you, your seat, sorry. But for space into the overhead compartments, they are going to start charging, but never mind. When on the ground, when you have no GPU connected. Sorry, I'm just going through, going back through the chat in case I missed anything. 150 people watch that. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, Meta. Yes, Meta. Let me go back. So, to do that, just go back to the McDo. This is how you find it. So, click on the McDo menu, the MCDU menu. Let me just bring my mouse cursor on here so you can all see that. 1 second. Let me capture the cursor. Alright, so you should be able to see the mouse cursor now. So, on the McDo menu, if we click that, you want to go to the ATSU page. Select the AOC menu, which is the only one available at the moment. And then here you've got weather request or ATIS. So if you click on weather request, you can, these are the two airports that are automatically loaded because they're the one, that was your departure and your arrival, so they're all automatically loaded, but you can type in any code you want, so Echo Golf, Lima Lima if you wanted London Heathrow. Then you just press the send. That sends a message to the airline's headquarters. That's sent, and then in a little moment what you'll get on here on the upper ECAM is you'll get a little thing saying that there's a menu, there's a message being received. Give it a second. There you go, a company message. So if we now go back down here, go back to the AOC menu, and if you look at your messages received, here you go, there's a new message, Meta, and there we go. So showers of rain, light showers of rain at Rome where we left, and here it's misty and overcast. Yeah, oh, and there's London Heathrow as well below it. And if you go to the options, just go back to the McDo menu, go to the options, you can select here the various areas where you get that. So so I get my ATIS from VATSIM, I get the Meta from Meteo Blue, which is the weather actually live here in Flight Simulator, so you know that it's going to be accurate. Alright guys, well, we're going to call it a night there. Hope you all enjoyed the the flight, the landing in particular. I'm going to shut everything down now. Please do hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribing already. Tomorrow is Friday, and for those subscribers, you know what that means. It's Long Haul Friday, where we do a long, usually a 5, 6, sometimes 7 hour flight all day. Still in the A320 Neo though, because it's the only aircraft I know how to fly. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Just very quickly, Peter James, you get the ATIS in flight exactly the same as you just did the weather. My ATIS comes from VATSIM, however, so if the VATSIM isn't online providing ATIS, you won't get that. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. That was a great flight, and I'm glad the landing turned out okay as well. I shall see you all again soon, as tomorrow's Long Distance Friday, so I hope I can catch up with you, some of you just then. Good night for now.